lights are out and you stumble in the dark. You kept pushing on, but then you went too far. When your ship has sailed and all your dreams are lost, everything is wrong, you feel like it's your fault. Just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me. You're stronger now than you ever been. You gotta leave now, it's time to catch the wind. You will climb up high and look through the clouds. And when you're feeling low, I know you'll bounce back. Oh, and just remember, I will be there for you, baby. Remember, there's nothing out there to get you, don't forget it. When life throws lemons, just call me. Just call me. Just call me. Just call me.
And my mic was muted there that whole time, so here we go with faux pas. But welcome to the virtual Dover Motor Speedway, live for the ECR Next Gen Cup Series. I'm Liam Irving, joined by Emily Arias and Danny Von Vet. Emily, Danny, how you guys doing?
I am doing wonderful. Besides the weather coming my way, other than that, I'm ready to be out here, be in the booth, ready to watch this race occur tonight.
It's going to be a really good show here. 200 laps at Dover, one of the toughest tracks for these guys to get around, especially in these next gen cars. Danny, I know you're not super familiar with these next gen cars, but when it comes to Dover, what is one of the toughest things to to think about here?
Managing your tires and making sure that you don't overdrive it, because it's the monster mile for a reason, and it will chew you up and spit you out if you make even the smallest mistake.
That is definitely a good point here, especially with this race being labeled the Concrete Mile Tire Shredder 200. But we've got a couple of guys to talk to before we get going. We'll try to make this as quick as we possibly can. First off is going to be our pole sitter, Stan Carnathan, up in the broadcast booth. Stan, you got a copy?
I do. What's going on, fellas?
Well, you've got the fastest lap in qualifying. What's it going to take to keep these guys behind you throughout the course of 200 laps?
Oh, they're not staying behind me. We're gonna be in some tire save mode here and see where we end up after 200 laps.
Bold strategy. So you're going to let these tires wear out, kind of let these guys go in front of you and hope you're one of the comers later, right?
Yeah, I think a couple of them here are gonna be faster on the short run, and then after about 30 laps, they'll come back.
Awesome stuff, Stan. We see you rolling. We'll send you back to your chat. Which team are you with again? Sorry.
Eons.
A or B?
Wherever everybody else is.
All right, let me double check. All right.
I think it's A.
All right. Field is lined up. Stan Carnathan is on the pole here. A little bit late to give you our grid, but we'll do our best. The graphics don't seem to want to work right now. Roll with that while we can. It's Stan Carnathan, Dwayne Furtick, Tay McDonald, Michael Sheffield, Kyle Diaz, Tyler Burden, Ryan McCall, Michael Carter, Adam Bowden, and Christopher Roth in the top 10. Pace car makes that hard left turn. For the first time today, Stan Carnathan leads them down into the Geico restart zone, and the Best Buy drops. Green flag is in the air here at Dover.
Watch out on the bottom of the 29. Trying to make a move on the 82, but does not make it happen as too wide behind the front two.
Double wide there, coming up off of turn number 2, and good job there by Stan Carnathan to get out front.
Trying to single file out line now throughout this Dover Motor Speedway. Look at these cars kind of going up high. 90 car looking on the outside of the 1 car going into turn 1 and 2. 8 car is going to be looking on the inside now, that number 90 car, but does not get past him.
Now, when clean air is going to be a huge thing. While there's no rubber on this racetrack, everybody's going to be worrying about sticking on the bottom side. And the downside about that is being where everybody else is, there's going to be some air disruptance. There's going to be some turbulence in the air. So now you can see McCall looks up to that top side. Diaz also doing the same thing. Going to have himself a nice run here on Sheffield. That's Ryan McCall there. He's looking up to the top side, but not a whole heck of a lot. He scrapes the wall a little bit coming here off of turn number 4.
Scraping the wall indeed is something you don't want to do in these cars, especially at Dover coming off of turns 2 and 4. You can sometimes overdrive that car and hit that right front into that wall, which can cause that toe link to break.
Yeah, we know how fragile these toe links can be in these next-gen cars. This wall coming up off of these corners, especially with that hill coming up, could really upset your car and send you up into the wall. So you want to be careful of that when you apex the corner.
Yeah, and I feel like coming out of turn 2 out of all 4 turns at this track is one of the worst ones, especially when you're right beside somebody. When you have that dirty air and clean air sometimes on that front of that car, you can just slide up, especially on old tires. I definitely noticed myself do it before, is sliding up and hitting that wall. So definitely going to be having to save tires here tonight at this track to try to stop that from happening, but we'll see how it goes from these drivers.
Right now we're riding on board with Stan Carnathan, who we talked to in the pre-race real quick. He's talking about, I'm not going to be leading these guys. I'm going to let them go. Here he is with 0.6 of a second of a lead. Seems like he's letting that pull back a little bit, but Danny, when you start talking about saving tires and then you get the chance to run up front and utilize that clean air, like, do you think he's going to fall back more? Do you think he's kind of committed?
I think he's really just more focused on managing his gaps. I mean, I don't think he wanted to be in the lead, but who says no to having the lead? I think he's just going to maintain what he can for now, but if he sees Tay McDonald come up behind him and get closer and closer, I think he'll just let him go.
Little bit of
As
a
he hits
wall
the wall
spray.
more.
Yeah, you saw that puff of smoke there coming up off the corner. doesn't seem to hurt that 82 machine, that rapid fire pizza. Chevy Camaro up front. K. McDonald in second, about 7/10 back. Dwayne Furtick 6/10 off of that, and he's got a host of cars right behind him, although it seems like Tyler Burden is the one who's really got to worry. Looked like Ryan McCall in the 90 got up into the wall there. Now Kyle Diaz trying to put pressure on that number 06.
Pressure indeed, as that Domino's car is starting to kind of get ran down by the number 90, looks to be, if I'm correct. Yes, I am. The 90 car back there. But we're definitely starting a single file line out here at Dover, and that's what we're going to start seeing at this track, especially with rubber not down and not having grip on the top and bottom. So these drivers are going to try to start getting some grip, push up the track, and start getting some rubber down to get some more grip on this track.
That's a good point, Emily. Especially as they miss that bottom, they start to slide up. It's going to put down rubber, and these guys up on the top side, like we see Ryan McCall, he just gave up that spot to Kane Lee. Now he's got Carter down to his inside. Once these guys start rubbering in that top side, you know it's going to be fast, and that's going to be a spot these guys can look at to get out of that dirty air of the car in front, that turbulent type of air. As we see that 32 once again, Marshall Harris. He's been quick. He's up 3 spots from where he started. Definitely been quick, but he's had a couple of those, you know, tank slappers into the wall that have slowed him down. I'm going to try to get up into the top 5 in the next couple of laps here as he looks down to the inside of McCall. This will be a battle for 8th.
Yeah, and like you said, he did tap the wall a couple times, and I know myself from experience at this track, and it was a while ago when they first implemented the toe link breakage. I know when I was racing at this track, I actually broke my toe link because I hit it, I think it was either 4 or 5 times. So Marshall definitely has to watch out and try not to hit it anymore and or come in and get some of that damage fixed under a caution.
Well, no guaranteed cautions, no stages here. Gonna need some sort of incident on track to bring out a caution for the ECR NextGen Cup Series. Round number 10 here at Dover. This guy's doing a damn good job all season, bringing us phenomenal racing and showing us why they are some of the best to get it done here on Saturday night.
Yes, indeed. Side by side, the Dollar Tree and Domino's machine working down the front stretch. Still 26 of the Domino's machine, still trying to look on the outside, but does not get past him. And that was your battle for...
Yeah, it's for a top 5 spot there. Kyle Diaz tried to pull the crossover there, nothing doing. Here comes Kane Lee up in 5th place. He continues to move forward as we've got one in the wall. That's Marshall Harris. He's going to continue to make mistakes and kind of, I don't know the exact word, but tarnish his good run so far.
Yeah, and like you said, tarnish that good run and hitting that wall. Marshall is definitely going to have to work even harder now, keeping that car at bay and working on trying to...
Too.
Yeah.
Sorry, Emily.
No, you're absolutely fine. But yeah, no, Marshall's definitely going to have to figure something out to try to keep that car at bay and just stop hitting that wall. A side-by-side action between Pete and Doug right there. As Doug gets past Pete on the inside line, Pete's not going to have anything after that. He's going to try to go up high. Does not get it, but Doug is starting to move up. Currently up 5 spots.
Yeah, Doug D. Nice just on the outside of the top 10, sitting in 12th place right now. He's going to look to the inside of that 48. He's got a bit of a run on him, and here comes that 48 up the racetrack. Everybody almost hit the wall there coming up off, but Pete Walsh going to have the big run coming up off of turn 4. Nothing doing. This racing happens so fast here at Dover Motor Speedway. It's like Bristol on steroids. Here comes D-Nice to the inside of that number 94, Adam Boughton, the Arnold Palmer machine. He's going to make that pass coming up off of turn number 4. Okay, clear. That's for 11th place. And now he's got Michael York in front of him keeping him away from a top 10 spot.
Yeah, as that 94 car now falling back, probably A, either saving tires, or B, kind of burned up their tires, because they are starting to get into the time frame of having to need new tires. Remember, folks, this is not asphalt. This is concrete. Concrete will chew up these tires. I don't know if you all remember when the iRail cars went to Bristol, they did a little epoxy there, and they're chewing through tires there. Kind of the same here. But definitely these drivers, you gotta watch about burning up these tires.
That 32 up on the outside. D-Nice gets loose coming up off of the corner, and that's going to allow Harris to stay up in front in that top 10 position. But look at that 40. He's got half a lane down to the bottom, trying to get everything he can. And Kyle Busch, he said during the media availability that these cars are very good at playing defensively. You can do a lot of air blocking. You can play defensively. They're not very good at attacking. Doug D-Nice is attacking right now, trying to show that that's not the case. However, that 32 of Marshall Harris, he's done a very good job up on the outside of defending, utilizing that air blocking, and taking away the clean air off of that 40 car.
Yeah, and just like you said, clean air, but watch out, the 94 car is making a little bit of space room on number 40 of Doug. But single file line throughout the field right now. Not much going on besides Besides in the back of the pack, I did see a couple two-wide action back there. Unknown who it was. We got a lot of two-wide action in the back of the pack. Ooh, as somebody hits the wall. And that was the 74 car of Pete Walsh got up into the wall. Definitely gotta be careful with that, but these drivers in the back of the pack are making no mistakes and really just running it down right now, trying to catch up to that leader and trying not to go a lap down here at Dover.
Going a lap down is a tough thing to get over here. These guys are already almost 12 seconds off of your race leader as you see that number 77 get down to the inside. That's Aaron Spear looking to the inside of Pete Walsh, makes that pass. 17 South, he's going to be able to get in front of Leroy Koblenz. Here he comes. 17 South to the inside of Pete Walsh. He's going to make that pass clean and green coming up off of the corner.
At the 24 of... Never mind.
24, Alan Holtzman there. Picklesheimer was trying to get past Sheffield, nothing doing. Here's that 24 machine as he gets around Pete Walsh as well.
Same for that number, I believe, 5 car is starting to get past them now. I think the tires kind of burnt off that number 74 car.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Pete Walsh is sitting out here on just super, super greasy old tires right now. And Danny, I know...
Currently running 24-24, while the rest of the field's running a second faster. So definitely something in that car is not right, and he's not liking it currently. So definitely probably burning up those tires, I believe.
Now, Danny, I know you're particularly a short run type of guy, but when you find yourself back like this, what do you need to do to try to get yourself that track position towards the front?
Usually just give up and start over.
Robert.
No, but it was normally like what you do is just, it's still the first run, and I mean at this point he's already burned the tires off. I can tell that he's in dead last at this moment. I mean, you could always short pit it and try to get track position and hope for a yellow or something, but right now he's just got to deal with it.
As battling right there between the 40 and 22 car. 40 car is going to be looking on the outside. Does not get it. Doug does not get it right there. Allows the 22 car of Travis Gilbert to be able to keep the lead from him. And that was your battle for 11th and 12th.
We know Travis Gilbert's fast. He started at the tail end of this field, still on probation, unable to qualify. He's been one of our fastest drivers throughout the course of this season, and of course, he's got a good sponsor that we love to...
As the 40 of Doug Denise gets passed by John Osborne in number 81. And look at that hornet's nest behind Doug. Ooh, as he touches that wall. I feel like I'd be scared right now in Doug's shoes. With the amount of cars currently trying to pass him.
That might be scary. But you know what's not scary? Me trying to find this segment. What's not scary is trying to find veterans a way back into the real world after they've dealt with so much across the seas and dealing with things that a lot of us... Oh, problems down the back.
Ooh, and will this bring out that caution?
Looks like Robert Roth down the back straightaway. No caution's going to come out. Robert Roth gets turned around.
Ooh, little help.
Him and Sheffield just hooked together.
Definitely gonna put a sore foot in that car tonight. Gonna have a lot of time to make up, especially with working on lap 38 out of 200. Those tires are not fresh, so he's gonna have to figure out his pit plan and do it accordingly to try to make up that lost time.
We talked to Adam before the race started. He said 65 to 70 laps was about what you could expect out of a fuel run. So probably 25 or so laps away from a pit stop. However,
At the
here
22
comes
of Gilbert.
Travis Gilbert to the inside of Michael York. We've got Vet to Track versus Rapid Fired Pizza. Who are we going to talk about first? It's going to be Vet to Track. Here at Vet to Track, we take pride in being different. What sets us apart is not only our commitment to empowering veterans, but the unique approach we embrace to make a meaningful impact. Vet to Track operates with no paid staff. Every effort is a labor of love, driven by the genuine desire to make a difference in the lives of veterans. Vet to Track operates on a mission, not a profit motive. Every dollar earned or donated goes back into creating more opportunities for veterans. Our focus is on impact and empowerment, not on financial gain. Vet to Track creates opportunities for hands-on experience, bringing veterans into the heart of the action through initiatives like our pit crew experience and motorcycle track days, crafting unique and empowering experiences. From the exhilaration of high-speed racing to the camaraderie built into the pit crew, we provide veterans with experiences that go beyond the ordinary. Our programs are designed to accommodate various skill levels, making Vet to Track accessible to everyone. Join us on this incredible journey where every ride is a step towards positive change. Will you join with us and be a supporter? Visit www.vet2track.org and help us support those who have given so much for us. Special shout out to honoring our heroes, PTSD awareness, battling PTSD one lap at a time, and the Support Veterans Group. Stan Carnathan continues to lead. Tay McDonald within a second of him. He's got Pete Walsh just between him and the race leader. Walsh, a little bit loose coming up off of the corner, gets down in front of Tay McDonald. It can be a little bit frustrating, can it, Danny?
It definitely can be. I don't think Pete Walsh really knew what lane Tay McDonald wanted. It looked like he wanted to go low, let him by, but that's not what happened and confused him, and that's what happens when you have a lapper. Sometimes they don't know what they're doing.
Well, top two are able to get clear of that 74 machine. Only two down one lap at this point. That's Robert Roth. Pete Walsh. Roth obviously got turned around down the back straightaway. We saw that. Didn't bring out a caution. Stan Carnathan continues to lead over Tay McDonald, Tyler Burden, Ryan McCall, and Kyle Diaz. Rounding out your top five. We're going to go ahead and step quick side-by-side here before we get pit stops. We'll be right back with the action. live here at Dover Motor Speedway. Stan Carnathan continues to lead over Tyler Burden, Ryan McCall, Kyle Diaz, and Dwayne Furtick. Somebody we haven't talked about a whole heck of a lot here today is John Osborne, winner of the last 2 races here on the ECR NextGen Cup Series circuit. Currently sits just outside the top 5. And Michael Carter, he's coming into the pits. Travis Gilbert, he's already come in. Pit stops are starting. And, well, I tell you what, these guys are splitting this thing into 3, maybe 4 stages here.
Yeah, like you said, 3 to 4 stages. So you said what? They have about 5 sets of tires total?
Yep, plus what they started with. So 6
Yes.
total. 5 in the pit.
So they have plenty of tires to finish this race with a couple of extra to spare. So if they get a late caution, they definitely can throw a fresh set of Goodyear tires on that, on that car to be able to make it the rest of the way and be faster at the end if we get that late race caution. But with this league, ECR, I don't think we're going to see one for a while. I mean, we might have one, but other than that, I think that's all we're going to have here tonight for cautions.
These guys are really good at racing clean, but something to keep an eye on. Travis Gilbert, he came in on lap 51. Tay McDonald, your second place driver, came in on lap 49. Stan Carnathan still out there right now on 57. Going to be a massive gap in tire freshness for these two. However, can Stan stay out long enough as to where that doesn't matter? He can get those fresh tires to do what he needs to when he comes out of the pits.
Yes, indeed. And some of these drivers gotta choose and pick when to come down pit road. When is it going to be the right time? Is it too early? Is it too late? And like you mentioned, we're looking about 60 to 70 laps on a field run here at Dover in these cars. So these drivers are definitely going to start coming down pit road, the drivers that haven't yet. So definitely going to be interesting to see on each one's field run and tire run. And I'm going to be curious once this race ends to kind of see how their tire wear was during the whole race.
Here's Tay McDonald already getting almost a full corner away from the 82 of Stan Carnathan. That's what fresh tires does here at Dover. He's driving away. Once this pit stop is made by the 82, there's going to be a massive gap between those two cars. But is Stan going to be able to have fresh enough tires to chase Tay back down?
The 82 car hits the wall pretty hard coming out of turn 4. Kind of something that, I would personally say, all right, it's time to come down and get new tires. But each driver is their own and have their own plans. So we'll see. Still up on the track, which is interesting, as the 26, if I'm correct, is down pit road. Kyle Diaz getting 4 stickers and a tank of Go Fast Racing fuel and ready to get back on the track. So racer is going to be number 82 of Stan Carnathan. And we still have the top 8, looks to be, as not pitted now, top 7, as
Stan
John
almost
Osborne
followed
comes down
Holtzman up
pit.
into the wall.
Ooh.
Now, Danny, when you stay out this long, what is the game plan here? What are you hoping happens here as you continue to stay out?
I think what they would want is for it to stay green and let this cycle through. And then by the end of the next cycle, they'll take the lead again. They're going to lose a lot of time to Tay McDonald, Tyler Burden, and Travis Gilbert like crazy. They're definitely at least about a little just over half a second slower than what they're running at the moment. So that's just every lap, you're just losing more and more time. So who knows how far back Stan is going to fall at this point, but he really is hoping for this to stay green.
So you think it's possible for Stan to pull off? Oh, is there contact on the back straightaway? Stan and Kent Mueller get up into the wall. They get away okay, but I was going to say, do you think it's possible that Stan stays out here and makes it a 2-stopper instead of a 3-stopper, which everybody else seems to be, at least outside of the top 5, seems to be looking at?
If it stays green, I say that can happen, and he can make it work. Because you said about 65, 70 on a fuel run, more than likely, which is
Oh, here comes Stan
going to be
Carnathan
close.
from
And
the race
he's
lead.
coming at 65.
John Osborne in second, almost half a lap back. Does he stay out an extra lap? Oh, he's coming in this
down
time
pit
too.
road.
Spear stays out.
New race leader will be Spears going across the line, but it will follow back into Tay McDonald will be your race lead after everybody comes down pit road for a tank of Sunoco race fuel and some new stickers. As long as everything goes to plan, yes, that is correct. Tay McDonald is now going to be your race leader when we come by the line. Or I'm going crazy.
Well, Kent Mueller's still out on the racetrack.
Okay, I'm not going crazy. I was like, wait a minute.
Got some damage to the front end, and obviously we saw that wall contact there. He's going to try to push it. Try to make it a 2-stop type of race instead of a 3-stop type of race. 17 South looks down to the inside. He's going to make that pass very easily. Aaron Spear has come into the pits.
I'm curious if this plan will work out.
Well, he's coming in this time.
Oh yeah, he's definitely pushed that car.
Oh, and he's going to lock it up on entry, and he's not going to make pit entry right now. He's got to back it up. Looking on the timing and scoring, no caution's going to come out for that. Kent Mueller tried to pull the strategy in the worst situation that could have happened, a mistake on pit road.
Yes, and that's something you don't want to see, especially at these short tracks, especially at Dover, because you only have so much in that pit until you get lapped. Same goes for Bristol, same goes for Martinsville.
Yeah, it's a very short track, very quick that things happen here, so you can go a lap down in the snap of a finger almost.
Yeah, snap of a finger almost definitely. I mean, it's crazy how fast these cars go around these short tracks. I mean, just going around Martinsville, they're going about 112, 120, and here they're flying. They're going almost, what, 170, 180?
Almost, yeah. I mean, a 22, 24 second lap, that's got to be between, like 155 and 170. I mean, these guys are almost putting together 3 miles a minute. At a track like this, that's crazy.
Yeah, and especially for these tracks that have cement, yes, you do get a decent amount of traction, but it also eats up those tires. And compared to asphalt, asphalt doesn't eat as much of the tires just because of how it's built and stuff. But when you go to concrete, it's a lot more rough, a lot more chews through those tires, if that's making sense. It might not, but basically asphalt doesn't chew through tires as much. Concrete spreads the tires.
Yeah, that's a really good way of looking at it. Asphalt, you slide a lot more and it makes things greasy, and that's why you're loose. On this type of situation, it's a cheese grater. So you just lose out on that contact patch. As Tay McDonald now gets to the back bumper of Kent Mueller. Gonna try to put him down one more lap. Remember, we saw Kent Mueller get loose there, kind of botched the entry onto pit lane. Had to back it up.
As we only have 12 cars currently on a lead lap out of 25, so half of the field
Kent
currently...
gets big time sideways. Hits the inside wall a ton.
Will that bring out a caution? It will not. We are still green, 75 out of 200.
We stay green as Tay McDonald has just over 5 seconds of a race lead over Tyler Burden.
Yeah, just like I was saying, more than half the field is currently a lap down. And that's what happens when you go green for this long is once those pit cycles happen, some of these drivers that decided to pit too late, pit at a certain time, they go a lap down while the person that pitted just right gets in the lead, like Tay McDonald in that 29.
I think Tay knew what he was doing. He's got Tyler Burden chasing him down. Tyler pitted 8 laps after him, and well, last time around, Tay McDonald was quicker than Tyler, so
I feel Tay knows what they're doing and is not going to back down to Tyler. Especially with the pit strategy, Tay came down on lap 49, while some of these drivers came down lap 60, 55, and 65. So Tay definitely will start having the older tires coming into the end of this pit cycle. So we're very soon going to see Tay come down pit road, as we're currently looking about almost 9 laps off of what comes out to 49 laps again.
I'm not sure what you just finished off of, but we've got 79 laps in the books. And Tyler Burden continues to do his best to chase down Tay McDonald. Through lap traffic, it seems to go in McDonald's favor, but right now Tyler's doing a good job. And like you mentioned, that 29 machine up front, he pitted 8 laps sooner than Tyler Burden. Burden, I've got to think, is on the same strategy of making this 4-stop race. Just wanted to try to pull the overcut there. Stan Carnathan, however, he came in on lap 65. He could potentially be the first driver that's able to make it on 2 stops rather than 3. So Stan Carnathan sitting here in 3rd place. He might be the one to watch.
Yeah, as a reminder, Stan pitted at lap 65, so currently he's the freshest car out here on tires. So he's making the moves, and now, like you mentioned, in P3, tracking down Tyler in that number 06.
Long way to go up to the race lead at 6.3 seconds between 1st and 3rd. However, Adam Bowden, he's looking to try to get himself back onto the lead lap here. He's got a little bit fresher tires than your race leader. He's going to look down to the inside. Looks like he's got it down, coming up off of turn number 2. Gonna get to the inside of D-Nice, see if Tay McDonald can follow him through.
Yeah, as battling between the 29 and 30 car. 40 car, that's my bad. Dyslexia at its finest. As Wiggle coming from the 40 car of Doug. And that's kind of a trend we see. I know myself, I see a lot at these Dover races, is coming out of those corners, you definitely get loose, and that back end kind of jumps out. And that's what these drivers have to be careful with. They gotta do that, they gotta touch the throttle perfectly and baby it coming out of those corners instead of just going full throttle. Otherwise, that back end will kick out and they'll go straight into the wall.
Definitely don't want to have that happen. It's not happened to Christopher Bell. Kaz Growler for a second there too. '17 South getting around Dylan Picklesheimer. That's for 19th place.
Our biggest mover right now is Travis Gilbert up in P4. Like you mentioned, he was on a qualifying suspension, if I am correct. So he's starting from the tail end of the field and now in 4th. Definitely a fast kart out here I've seen every week so far. So definitely one of the fastest cars out here. Crazy. I know myself, I have my tracks I'm not good at, but Travis seems like he's good at every single track he comes to.
Yeah, it really does seem that way. You know, we've talked to him a ton of times here in post-race interviews and stuff like that. You know, he wants to try to get that podium spot here. He sits in fourth. It's going to be a long way to go. We're not even quite halfway into this race yet. But the
That's
race leader,
wiggling from the
8.5 seconds in front of him. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, side by side, the 43 and 74 car. 74 car now going to be on the outside, pushing the 43 car down low. With these cars running up high, it's definitely going to be whoever can get that run coming off of those corners to be able to get that pass, which will not allow the 22 to get fully by him, but going in turns 1 and 2, it should theoretically allow that 22 to be able to get in front of the 74, and it does. As
I don't
fighting in the
expect
back.
anything less there out of Pete Walsh in the 74. He's going to race as hard as he possibly can. You see the 48 get up into the wall there. That's Michael York, that rapid-fired pizza machine, just behind your race leader, Tay McDonald.
Yes, as Tyler is now 2 seconds back from the race leader, making a lot of time up currently in that number 82. It went from, what did you say, 5 seconds to 2 seconds. So he's definitely tracking down the leaders right now.
Danny, when you're dealing with lap traffic like this, what can you do to make this better? What can you do to try to keep that gap where it's at?
Well, like you said earlier, there's a lot of aero blocking that comes along with these cars, and even when you catch up to a lap car, they could try and get out of your way, but if they're in front of you in a corner, that's still taking air off your nose, and it's just going to slow you up. And if the guy in second or even third is in clean air, he's going to gain a whole bunch of time on you, and there's not much you can do. And plus, the lap cars are going to fight the leader a lot harder than they're going to fight second, third, fourth, on, because they don't want to go a lap down. And once they get to about second or third, they don't care anymore.
Alrighty, as now 82 a stand. Now in the race lead, still battling though the 29 car, but 29 car is not going to let up Tay McDonald, but
Well, Stan
Stan's
Bennington
gonna,
just took over the race lead.
yeah, and
He's got
would
that
you
lap
mind?
65 pit stop, looking to make it happen on two stops here if we stay green. Takes
Yeah.
over the race lead just before halfway. Tay McDonald knows he's on a different strategy, didn't fight him too hard. Let's go back and take a look at the pass for the race lead.
Alright folks, this is the pass for the race lead here between the 82 of Stan and 29 of Tay. Just runs that bottom line, gets that car to stick on that bottom line, which allows him to get past Tay. And Tay really can't do anything with being shoved up that high, and it allows Stan to be able to get past. A beautiful pass by Stan, though. As Stan's currently coming up to lap traffic, which can cause a little trouble, maybe wreak some havoc and allow the cars behind him to be able to catch up, but Stan's running that car perfectly right now. He's hitting his marks and not making mistakes so far.
Starting to approach that halfway mark. Pit stops have to be soon here, especially for those guys who came in between lap 45 and 50. Tell you what, man, these guys can push it a little bit further on fuel, but it's going to be tough. Especially for those guys who came in early. Doug D. Nice, he's already coming in. I got to believe Tay McDonald, Travis Gilbert, guys like that, they're going to come in soon.
Oh yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if I saw Stan come down in about, how do I say it, 30 laps or so? Because he pitted, not 30 laps, I can't do math right now. So
That's
he
okay.
pitted laps
People are going to be pitting within the next 10.
Oh yeah. So, but Stan, pitted lap 65, I think it was. So, we're looking at about 120 or so that we'll see Stan come back down.
If he wants to, well, yeah,
and that's if he wants to push again to 65 laps.
he's probably gonna try to push it a little bit further than that. 65 times 2 gets him to 130. Take away
If Stan takes it to 70 laps on this run, he can make it to the end on one more stop.
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
But now, will he want to though? Is a real question on those
Why
times.
wouldn't he?
Well, yes, you would. You have the lead, and the caution's out.
Caution has just come out here for the second. No, this is the first caution of the day.
Yeah,
Well,
first caution
Stan's
of
strategy.
the day. And this will reset every single driver out here's fuel run. So this is definitely going to shake things up here tonight as we try to find what brought out this caution.
Fourth wall breakage. Pretend it didn't happen. Well.
I'm curious on where this caution came out. Oh, I see. There we go. Looks like Christopher Ross got involved in something.
Yep. This is why the caution came out. Everybody up front making wholesale pit stops. We'll update you on that in a few.
Ooh. I have a...
Yeah, the pit wall.
Yep.
That will do it.
Engine
And he hit that
back
going
up out of
fast.
the racetrack.
He had to hit that going at least 92. So that car's going to be done for the rest of the night, sadly. But yeah, wholesale pit stops from every single driver out here tonight once that pit road opens. And it looked like it already did. So what this means, folks, is these drivers still have to pit one more time. So it'll allow still one more possible green flag run. And if we get it, we'll probably start seeing drivers come down early, like lap 40, 50. It depends on how these drivers want to do it.
Well, that's anticipating we stay green as long as we did. But now that we're in the second half of this race, can't imagine guys are going to be as lenient as they were early on in the show.
Yeah, and with us, like you said, being a little over halfway, some of these drivers definitely are going to be a little more aggressive as they've already made it halfway. They're going to start ranking it up, turning it up, and starting to put the pedal to the metal and try to win it. And especially try to get some of that clean air on the front nose.
Dan Carnathan has played that strategy to a win so far. He's still got 94 laps to go to try to get that checkered flag, but he's out front here on the same pit strategy as everybody else. Tam McDonald in second place, Tyler Burden, Ryan McCall, Kyle Diaz, Dwayne Furtick, Kane Lee, Michael Carter, John Osborne, and Adam Bowden rounding out our top 10. See if we get the 1 to green this time. See if we get the wave rounds to go by.
This will definitely help a lot of these drivers that are a lap down to be able to get back on that lead lap. So some of these drivers like Leroy, Anthony, Aaron, and Alan and Travis, some of these drivers are going to be so happy to have this caution come out because it's going to allow them to be able to move up, get that lap back, and try to race for this race win.
Yeah, it looks like we'll restart with 11 drivers on the lead lap. Ludi looks like he got one of his back, but everybody behind Ludi is still one or more laps down. Stan Carnathan ready to lead them down. First restart we've had in over 100 laps here at the Monster Mile. Pace car makes that hard left turn, stands ready to get up on the jump here as we wait for the Geico restart zone. Waiting, green flag immediately. Stan doesn't wait a moment, he gets on it. He's going to have 2, maybe 3 car lengths as they get down into turns 1 and 2, and maybe even more as Tay McDonald has the 0-6 of Tyler Burden all up on his rear bumper. Oh, man, problems.
To a Stan.
Problems for Stan.
It's going to allow the 29 of Tay to be able to work on the outside of Stan, but will that ruin Stan's run right there with getting loose? Remember, folks, eating these tires off, and iRacing implemented a new thing called flat spotting tires. So let's hope he did not flat spot his tires there and he'll be able to continue, which looks like he will. He's going to be running that car hard on the inside of the number 29 of Tay. Side-by-side action for the lead here. Still not giving up going through turn 4 and the front stretch.
Try to pull some side draft to get that 29 closer to him. He's going to slide up the racetrack a little bit better, but Tay McDonald up on the top side, able to utilize that top lane and side draft. Here comes Stan Carnathan down on the inside, trying to use what he has. He slides up the racetrack. Gonna be dead even. Almost to the door, gets loose coming up off of the corner. Slides back up the racetrack to get close to Tay, but man, that's gonna be tough. Tay McDonald, little bit of contact, almost contact. They kept it off of each other. Tyler Burden, meanwhile, trying to figure out which way it's going to go. Who do I pass? Does he pull a Carson Guapo?
Side by side, still coming out of turns 4. Single file from the rest of the field. Our only currently 2 battles is for the lead from Tay and Stan, like we've mentioned. Stan's still going to try to get ahead, kind of ahead right now. Will he make the pass? I think he will.
He's got to
make that pass.
No, not quite. Here comes Tay back up on the top side. Loose up off the corner comes the 82, and Tay got the wall just a little bit. Neither one of them wants to give an inch.
Like you said, not giving an inch indeed, and we're still going to be seeing it. Folks, this has gone on for about 3 laps now, and they're not giving up.
Tay moves forward just a little bit. Up the racetrack goes Stan Carnathan. Still side drafting through one of the toughest corners there is to work through NASCAR, and let alone side draft somebody. They go back into turn number 1, side by side.
Contact.
There's contact. Sideways goes the 82. Carnathan gets sideways, and here comes Kane Lee into second place.
That's something Stan did not want to see by the number 29 of Tay, but Stan's going to remember that and still work his way back up. A new race leader comes back to Tay McDonald, following Kane Lee, and Kyle Diaz is your top 3 right now.
Tay McDonald able to drive away. Right now he's got about half a second over Kane Lee in second place. Danny, when you get a lead like this, especially one that I wouldn't say inherited, because Tay has been super strong all day, but when the guy you've been racing against all day has a problem, he's further back behind you, what goes through your mind, and what can you do to make this race even easier for you?
Well, as long as Stan stays back there, this race will be a lot easier for Tay McDonald. But if Stan manages to make his way back up behind Tay, it will get really nervous for him very quickly.
Take another look at the restart here to see what happened to Stan Carnathan. Up front, Tay McDonald continues to lead over Kane Lee, Kyle Diaz, Stan Carnathan, and Tyler Burden, making up the top 5.
Yeah, and now this is the time the drivers, if it goes green, these drivers are gonna have to decide soon when they want to come down pit road. Do they want to push it past 150, like 150, 160, 170, or do they want to short pit it and come down about lap 140?
A lot of questions up in the air. We're going to go ahead and step side by side one more time. We'll be right back with those pit stops and questions to be answered. Back live here at Dover. Jay McDonald continues to lead over Kane Lee, Stan Carnathan, Kyle Diaz, Tyler Burden, rounding out the top 5. And when you guys get into a long race like this where you know you've still got one more pit stop, does that kind of leave you to not push so hard, or do you feel like now is the time to push?
Personally, I do not push until it's like 20, I say 20 to 30 laps depending on the track. If it's a short track like this, Martinsville and so on, and even Bristol, I give it like 15, 20 laps is when I start pushing. So right now, I would still be saving my tires, buying my time, still trying to keep up mid-pack to front pack. without burning up those tires, arcing the corners, and trying to save as much as possible than to try to pit like lap 160. But it's definitely going to be interesting to see how these drivers want to come back down pit road and when they want to come down.
Not quite into the fuel window just yet, but it'll be interesting to see how people want to short pit each other in just a couple of laps here. I'd imagine 140 with 60 laps to go is probably where people are going to start the pit cycle.
Yes,
Three wide
indeed,
up
as almost
second.
3 wide.
Third, rather. Kane Lee has already let Stan Carnathan through. Kyle Diaz gets around. Ryan McCall to the inside. Of course, we know we love Ryan McCall and that rapid fire pizza machine. So we're just gonna make you aware that the first rapid fire pizza opened its doors in 2015 in Dayton, Ohio. The idea was simple: make delicious, fast, and affordable pizza. Now in 25 cities across the country, customers love the fresh taste, the speed, and the ability to create their own perfect pizza with over 35 different toppings and sauces. Go to www.rapidfiredpizza.com for a location near you. McDonald continues to lead over Stan Carnathan, Ryan McCall, Kyle Diaz, and Tyler Burden. Dwayne Vardick has a host of cars behind him. Everybody trying to figure out the rest of the top 10 situation.
As possible battling happening right back there.
Yeah, Osborne and Kane Lee. Osborne looked out of the inside.
But did not make the decision to try to cut in right there. Probably thought better of himself. Hey, I still have 60 laps. Let's try not to push as much yet. As still taking your race lead. Still pushing that car. Currently pulls a 2-second lead in front of Stan and growing, so meaning Hay is saving their tires more and or Stan is saving his tires. So definitely going to be interesting when these drivers come down pit road. Especially for Stan with how we've known how he likes to come down pit road. I'm curious if he's going to try to do that again.
But we'll find out. Ryan McCall, he's come into the pits. I guess we'll see where this undercut starts. Picklesheimer in as well. McCall getting service done. We'll see if this undercut changes the way that this race goes. Meanwhile, up front, Tay McDonald continues to lead.
As now we only have 9 cars currently on the lead lap. out of 25. It's going to be interesting.
Here comes McCall down to the inside of Tyler Burden. Not for position. We know Ryan McCall came into the pits a little bit earlier. Look at how much work those fresh tires can do.
Yes, indeed. Fresh tires are currently where it is at on that car. Being able to start making spaces, being able to move up. But the real question now was, did I pit too early or did I pit at the right time? Because now that driver has to think about the other drivers that come down lap 150, lap 155, even lap 160. They're going to be on a lot fresher tires than that car.
So how soon do you make that pit stop? We've seen plenty of guys jump in already, but how soon do you make that stop? These drivers up front, Kyle Diaz trying to defend from Tyler Burden now. These guys obviously both came in under that last caution. But neither one wants to be behind the other when the green flag pit stops come.
Yeah, as we come across 150 out of 200 here at Dover Motor Speedway. Actually, I lied, it's not Motor Speedway anymore, it's International Speedway.
Is it back to international?
I think it is. Kind of interesting.
It's Motor Speedway.
That's what I thought. 50 laps to go here at the Monster Mile. Tay McDonald continues to lead. He's got 2.25 seconds over Stan Carnathan, who's been just a little bit quicker most of these last couple of laps, but Tay's doing a really good job of keeping that gap where he wants it, not falling off a whole heck of a lot.
As Stan is currently falling back in time, which means Tay is just riding along, riding their line, and just not deviating from their preferred line to save tires, and just that one groove that they like.
Yeah, Ryan got past Tay with relative ease there, so gotta believe Tay is, well, he's not super worried about lap down cars right now. He knows that Stan Carnathan is who he's got to worry about with a 2-second gap and a pit stop coming. Just gotta manage it.
And now with Tay having a lap car go past him on fresh tires, is that gonna put in his mind, hey, do I need a pit soon? Before that car ends up becoming in the lead.
Well, I think the window's open. I think the winning move is to pit any time from now. However, Stan Carnathan, he's continuing to close in. He's trying different lines.
He's
Nice
trying to get
exit.
that run off of turn 2.
Yeah, nice exit up off of 2, but does his entry hurt him enough? Here comes the race leader into the pits, Tay McDonald.
Stan keeps on going by around. Following Dwayne Furtick. Same as Kyle Diaz. Who else do we have coming down?
Tay McDonald, Dwayne Furtick, Kyle Diaz, Anthony Ludi is in the pits. Here
So is the
comes
82
Stan this
of
time
Stan.
around. Tyler stays
Alrighty.
out. John Osborne stays out.
New race leader going to be Tyler Burden. Going to be the first time here tonight at Dover Motor Speedway. Going to be leading their first lap here tonight. But it'll cycle back out once some of these leaders get back out on that track. and these drivers have to come down that pit road to get Sunoco racing fuel.
And here comes Tay coming up off. Not quite off yet. Did he get a penalty?
I think Tay got a penalty.
I think Tay got a penalty.
That will push Tay back. Definitely Tay got a penalty of some sort, meaning that's gonna definitely put them way far back in the pack.
Take a look at his entry here. See if there's anything we can find.
I think Tay was speeding. Tay was speeding when they entered. Speeding penalty, it looked like Tay got. Ooh, that is a hard hit for Tay, your race leader for a lot of these laps here tonight, but it's not going to stop Tay. Tay's still going to push back. Same for the 82 of Stan. Going to be currently in 7th. Not too worried about what position he's in. He's just moving up past 51 now. So
Ryan McCall, he's, I believe, the first driver who's hoping to make it to the end. Came in on lap 141. Should be able to make it to the end. Out in front of sorry. He's got 10 seconds on Stan.
but now the real question is, does Stan start pushing the car or just riding it down till almost 10 to 15 laps to go, then push the car then? Because I know myself, I know how loose this car can get once you burn those tires down, especially exiting turns 2 and turns 4. So does he really want to risk it right now when he still got about 35 to 38 laps to go?
No. Now is not the time to push. You're 10 to 12 laps fresher on your tires. Looking at the gap, it's 15 laps difference. No, you do not want to push. Now you just want to let him fall back to you and maybe push if you need to when he comes back to you. But you've just got to sit here, understand what you've got. You've been one of the quickest drivers all day. Just keep your head on your shoulders. Don't push it too hard. He's going to come back to you.
Now the real question is, will Stan do exactly what you said? We will see as we're working lap 164 out of 200.
And I mean, it's so much easier when you're watching up top here. I mean, Danny, I know you know, when you're sitting in the race car, all of these words that we're saying up here, they're not even relevant.
No, not at all. But I mean, Stan's got quite a gap that he still has to drain down here. And I mean, Ryan McCall could have just taken it easy that whole time. He could have not even pushed at all and saved a lot of tires now as well. So I mean, even if Stan saves, he could still not catch up to him in time because it isn't that big of a gap. Only what, 10, 15 laps of a difference. Before, when the last time Stan pitted under green, it was more like a 20 lap difference, and he flew through the field really quickly. So I think he's going to do the opposite of what you guys are saying. I think he's going to push it right now.
Hey, I was saying push it.
Yeah, I'm the one who says don't. But either way, I mean, I feel like Ryan McCall right now, he's taken over the race lead. He's in a good spot. Got enough fuel to make it to the end, as long as you don't push it. If you can keep enough in your back pocket, in your wallet here to fight this guy when he gets to you, might have a shot at the race win. McCall gets around Pete Walsh there. Clean and easy. Clean track in front of him. Spear in second place. Hasn't made a pit stop yet. He's got 17 South looking to his inside. Doesn't seem like 17 South really wants to push anything. But gets that job done, gets in front. Stan Carnathan. 6.5 seconds behind your race leader with 30 laps to go. Kind of looks like Stan's going to be able to get there. Takes the outside over Spear. That's a pass for position, by the way.
I feel like Stan is pushing that car. Might just be me. Now is he pushing the car 100%? Probably not, but he's still pushing the car. I know that.
What you got, Danny?
I mean, I would say I would agree because at least every lap I've been looking, he's been at least somewhere around 2 to 3 tenths faster every lap. And he's been in the 22s for most of the laps. The only time he wasn't was when he was getting around people, but otherwise he's been in the 22-second range pretty much this entire time since he came off pit road.
Yeah, he's almost a tenth faster than the leader Ryan McCall right now. Actually, is he?
Well, it's a 5-second gap right now. So
Oh,
He was about,
he's
he
actually
was
a
about 4
second
tenths
faster.
faster.
that last time around for
Oh,
sure.
that last lap,
Ryan's dealing
yeah.
with Pete Walsh again. Walsh knows he has the fresher tires. He let him have the spot earlier on, but Walsh sees there's no traffic in front of him. Gets in front of your race leader. Good for him, but not so much for Ryan McCall.
Yeah, having dirty air on that nose is going to make that car push up higher, and that's something you don't want. And with leading too, you think you're going to have that fresh air, but these lap cars can definitely get you in trouble.
Especially when Stan Carnathan is now within 3.5 seconds of the lead. Can he get up there? Can he make this pass?
Oh, he's most
15.
definitely going to.
15 laps is the difference on tires.
And will he have enough? He has 25 laps to make this happen. He's going to have to start pushing that car a little bit harder to be able to make that gap up and pass him at the same time.
Well, Emily, you and I have talked about this a million times. Danny, catching him is one thing, passing him is another.
I think there's just the speed difference is there. He's been 4 or 5 tenths faster every lap. Yeah, there's you can air block all you want, but I think Stan wants this win badly and probably wouldn't be afraid to be aggressive with this pass.
To agree with you there, it's kind of that bump and run type of racetrack type of situation. We saw Austin Hill try it a couple of times here in the Xfinity race today and didn't quite work, but I tell you what, Danny, it was well executed, just the cautions didn't help him.
And you got to remember how Stan lost the lead. It might be a different driver that's leading now, but he lost the lead battling really hard for the lead, and I know he's hungry to get back to the lead and get back in control of this race.
Definitely is as we approach 20 laps to go, 22 as they cross the line, getting closer and closer to the late stages of this thing. Ryan McCall holds out of the race lead, but that gap is dropping and dropping quickly. Stan Carnathan.
Within a second.
Yeah, within a second.
Like an angry hornet that's coming upon Ryan McCall right now. He does not know what's coming in that rearview mirror. He's just seeing Stan just come up so fast, and he's like... Now, the real question is, if you are Ryan right now, what is your plan? Do you block him? Do you let him by?
Oh, he's
What are
there.
you gonna
Plans don't matter. He's there. What do you do as the race leader? You try to make sure he can't pass you. Cut off his line. That's not possible. Oh, contact!
Oh!
That's a
Gets
bump
him
and run that you
loose.
don't want against a teammate there. Stan Carnathan up into the race lead with 20 laps to go. Tyler Burden takes over second. Ryan McCall falling back further and further down the line.
I will
Well,
say,
just
Tyler
about.
Burden did pit a little later than Stan. And he's only a second back.
Good thing to note there. That could be something to look forward to. Here we got the pass for the lead.
And look at here, it looks like he took the air off that left quarter panel of that number 90 car right there. You can just see the air.
I think netcode is the thing that got the 90 sideways, but they got really close there. I think that was just hard, tough racing there, and we'll take another look from a different angle. But I believe that was netcode. Well,
The battle
there
for the
it
lead is heating up.
Battle for the lead is heating up. Danny, we've got half a second separating first and second right now. Stan Carnathan continues to lead, but Tyler Burden getting closer and closer, like you mentioned. He's got 5 laps fresher tires. Can he get this job done here?
It might be tough. I mean, Stan's been strong all day long, and these are much more even tires than what happened with Ryan McCall and Stan Carnathan. So I think Stan will be a little bit more aggressive this time around and
Stan
try
got
to
all
aero
up
block
out
it.
of the rear bumper there of Kane Lee as he put him a lap down, and that allowed Tyler Burden to close in to about 3 car lengths as they came up off of the corner there. Yeah, I tell you what, man, this is getting close. It seemed a lot closer there. But different lines, you see Tyler Burden able to get half of his car down below that 06 in front of him. Or that 82, rather. He is the 06. Looking up top this time. Comes up off of the corner, and he is closing in. He is definitely quicker than your race leader. Stan gets up into the wall on corner entry, goes way up next to the wall. Here comes Tyler Burden down to the bottom for the race lead. Stan Carnathan trying everything he can. He's got the outside, he's got the momentum, but here comes Tyler down on the inside once again. Gonna try to slide him up. Can't quite get that slider down. They're dead even across the line. Down into the corner, Tyler. He doesn't have to work too hard for it. Stan goes way wide, and he's going to stay there. Seemed like everything Tyler needed gift wrapped, ready for the clearing, and now he is clear. Tyler Burden is your new race leader, coming to 11 laps to go, but here comes Stan, back to the inside. Stan Carnathan pushes hard. Tyler coming up off of the corner. He's got the run. He's got the momentum. Tyler Burden holds on to the race lead as they come to 10 laps to go here at the Monster Mile. Stan
I really think that was Stan's last shot.
Oh, you see him go in there wide, Danny. Try to cut down, get that late apex, but
I think he's done all he could have. That last little crossover was, I think, the last thing he could do, because I think Tyler's just got a little bit fresher tires, and Stan obviously has not been saving tires at all this entire time, but he's still hanging in there.
He is. He stays within a couple of car lengths. Ryan McCall way back. He's third place, 5 seconds back. Stan
Still
close.
on his bumper, though.
We've got Aaron Spear here, who's not a member of this battle for the race win, but he's got fresher tires. He wants to get around these guys. He wants to get a slap back. In case of caution comes out, Stan Carnathan gets up into the wall. Allows the 77 to get to his inside, and he falls further off of the 06. With about a half a second lead over Stan Carnathan. He's got Aaron just behind him. Aaron Spears looks down to the inside, coming up off of the corner. That's going to have to slow down that 0.6 just a little bit as Stan goes right up next to and into the wall once again. Leroy Koblenz has had an issue. He's jumped to the pit lane. We'll look at that in a few moments. Kyle Diaz to the inside of Michael Carter. Gets that pass done. Battle for the race lead once again. As Stan Carnathan, with 5 laps to go, going to try to chase down Tyler Burden.
Will he be able to do it? We will see. Still on the bumper, though, of that number 06. Like you said, he did burn up those tires, but he's still pushing that car.
Danny, we get to this stage in the game. You see how close he is. You see the lines he's trying. Do you wait for the bump and run, or do you just hit it as soon as you get there?
Well, first you got to get there, and I mean the laps are winding down, and I mean at this rate, if he gets there and it's 2 laps to go, I'd say just do it because he'll fall back enough to where he won't be able to get back to you at that point.
Well, 3 laps to go, 3 miles to get this done. John Osborne has Dwayne Furtick, and Ryan McCall has John Osborne try to steal a podium spot. John won the last 2 races. Trying to find a way onto the podium. Stan Carnathan can't find a way up. Well, he got to the inside of Kane Lee there, but he can't get closer to the race leader. Tyler Burden gets out by about 3/4 of a second. Here comes John Osborne to the inside for 3rd. McCall going to stay strong up on the top side. Contact a little bit there with the wall for McCall. John Osborne gets through for 3rd place. White flag is in the air for Tyler Burden.
Popsicle sticks are up in the air.
Oh, no, there's only 1 popsicle stick. Now, this is the last lap. Tyler Burden has done a phenomenal job all day. He's driven through the field. He drove through your pole sitter, Stan Carnathan, and Stan couldn't quite get enough done. Tyler Burden comes up off of turn number 4 and wins at Dover. 2nd place, Stan Carnathan. John Osborne gets through for 3rd. Ryan McCall, Dwayne Furtick, Kyle Diaz, Michael Carter, Adam Bowden, Travis Gilbert, Tay McDonald, Aaron Spear, Kane Lee, 17 South, Michael Sheffield, Robert Roth, Pete Walsh, Doug D-Nice, Dylan Picklesheimer. Now we get to watch Tyler Burden burn it down whenever he's ready for it.
Off my tree today.
Tyler, we're stealing you. We stole you. Up into the broadcast booth you come. Here with a race-winning performance, dude. What a drive you had, and especially over the course of that last long run. You got around Stan, and well, I mean, walk us through your day.
Well, I guess you kind of heard part of it. I was cutting tree limbs, and I didn't think I was going to be able to do this race very well because, yeah, I was in some pain. I'm in some back pain right now. But yeah, this was kind of unexpected. I didn't think the car was going to run this well, especially after that first run. The car got really tight when you're right up behind someone. But I ended up figuring something out, and I could get some passes done. But yeah, I'm surprised that my pit strategy paid off like it did. I kind of switched it up on the fly, and yeah, I guess the the car held on just long enough for me to. I think I'm sputtering. Yeah, I'm doing a Polish victory lap, and I'm sputtering. But yeah, the way this season's gone, I honestly thought this was going to be a winless season. but I'm so happy right now. And sweaty. I'm a sweaty boy.
Well, Tyler, we've been watching you for a little while. We knew it wasn't going to be a winless season, but before we let you go, who do you want to thank for such a strong run here? Who gets you into victory lane each and every week?
I want to give a shout out to my mom and dad, especially my dad. My dad's the one that taught me everything I know about race cars. Taught me how to work on race cars. He taught me how to work on just about anything. I want to give a shout out to all the Eon guys, especially Stan. That was so much fun being able to race him for it. And I'm coasting. But yeah, like Stan, Michael York, Ryan McCall, John Osborne, Bradley couldn't be here today. But yeah, I'm just excited for this. This one's a monkey off my back.
Well, you did a phenomenal job to get that monkey off your back here tonight. Congratulations on the win here, and we'll send you back to Eons.
All right.
Alrighty. And now we got Stan.
Three stops. I was going to make it on 2. Yeah, I mean, if you took care of the right front, you had enough long run speed, you know, to gain track position, and then with the cautions, you know, you could try to work with that. But I mean, I was a little bit more aggressive than I anticipated being at times, but it worked out, and I'm just glad I didn't nose myself into the inside wall, because that was a bit scary.
Yes, indeed. I know you touched the wall. I'm pretty sure everybody kind of touched the wall here tonight. That's kind of what happens when you come to this Monster Mile of Dover, especially, turn 4. That wall is a mess after these races.
Yeah, luckily we didn't get in the wall too much. We kind of forgot about cold tires and almost yanked ourselves into the inside wall a couple times on a restart there inside Tay, and then yeah, I got away on that restart and gave it up. I got loose, and then after the pit stop coming out of 2, I just lost a lot of time there. So I don't want to say that was the difference, but I lost a lot of time to Tyler there specifically coming, the first lap out. So could have done a better job there. We'll have to tighten that up a bit.
Yeah, well, amazing run from you here tonight. From first to second, back to first, all throughout the night. You had amazing car. The Chevy Camaro was fast throughout the night. Liam and Danny, would you guys like to say anything to Stan before we allow him to read his sponsors?
No, pretty much just who helps you get it done, man? Who gets on that car? Who puts it here?
Oh well, we I don't know. I think I've probably turned close to 1,800 laps here at Dover this week, so that helps quite a bit. But you know, the team there practicing before the race, kind of sharing what lap, race pace should be, and things like that, and just kind of working together. So it's a team effort. Obviously, we 1 through 4. I think it's safe to say that Eons is back, and we're going to be looking to start pulling away there in the team championship points, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Been a phenomenal
Yeah.
time, and congrats on the second. I know you wanted more, but great drive.
Yeah, all good. I appreciate the broadcast. You guys do a fantastic job. And we'll see you next week.
Last but not least, John Osborne. One second. John, it's Liam, Danny, and Emily up in the booth. You got a copy.
I am here.
Well, I tell you what, you wanted to go for 3 in a row, and well, you came home with 3rd place. Not a bad run here for you today at Dover. Not enough cautions to fall into your strategy plan.
Yeah, I should have qualified. I had good qualifying speed, and I had a feeling that it might go long again. And honestly, I took it a little too easy. I was trying to save. I saved a little bit too much tire, especially on that first run. It just put me behind. Then we got the caution, and I was like, all right, well, I'll push it a little harder here. And everybody ahead was, pushing it about the same. So it just couldn't make up any ground. And so I tried to stay out a little bit longer on that last fuel run there. And I knew once Tyler pitted and I stayed out 2 laps, I was like, I don't think I'm having enough time to get up there. But I'll just push as hard as I can. Maybe I can get back to the podium. I got to apologize to my teammate, Ryan. I kind of, made it a little tight there coming out of that one turn. And I did try to stay a little bit low to give him room on the high side, but I think he bounced off the wall a little bit. I don't think he expected me to I dropped it down into 4th trying to make that pass, and I got a little tight. So I apologize to him. That was definitely not intentional.
Well,
But overall, good run.
you knew we were going to ask about it, that race with Ryan there to get to the podium spot. You guys raced super hard there coming up off the corner, and I know you pretty much answered everything you needed to there, but
Yeah, I think he had 8-lap older tires than I did, and I was pushing, but I was for whatever reason this car loves to kind of diamond, and then I can get a good drive off off the turns, and so I was just continuing to do that, and I probably forced the issue a little bit too fast there. I probably should have waited one more lap and probably would have got him on the white flag, but if he would have fought back on the high side, I wasn't going to fight for it too hard. I mean, we had all teammates in the top 4 and 5 in the top 6, so it was a good team effort today. I'm happy for Tyler, happy for Stan. Tyler's had a rough go of it, a lot like I did before I went on that little run there, and happy to see him get back up to the top of the podium.
oh, before we let you go, we know you love your team, and by all means, shout them out again, but who do you need to give a shout out to for getting you here?
When I won that race at Texas a few weeks ago, I completely forgot to thank my sponsor. I was so excited. It was the first one. That should have been the first thing on my mind. But I want to thank Woody's. They've been on my car for over a year now. Appreciate them. Anybody watching, go to woodys.com, buy you some wood sunglasses. They are fantastic. All their sunglasses are polarized. They look fantastic, and they're very lightweight, and they float because they're wood. I want to thank my team, Eons Motorsports. We love throwing data back and forth, and we're trying to figure out what the best strategy was, what opinion to run, and how to save the most tire but still gain the most positions. I think I gained 20 spots from where I started, so pretty good. Also want to thank my mom and dad who are watching. Appreciate them, love them to death. They're my biggest fans, and thank y'all up here in the booth as always, and thank Adam as always for putting on such a great league with Elite Cup Racing.
Thank you, John, for joining us, and well, hopefully we'll be talking to you again next week.
We'll see how it goes.
Well, that's gonna about do it for us here on Sim Racing Media. Tyler Burden gets the win over Stan Carnathan and John Osborne. Then we got Ryan McCall, Dwayne Furtick, Kyle Diaz, Michael Carter, Adam Bowden, Travis Gilbert, and Tay McDonald rounding out your top 10. Then we've got Aaron Spear, Kane Lee, 17 South, Michael Sheffield, Robert Roth, Pete Walsh, Doug D. Nice, Dylan Picklesheimer, Leroy Koblenz, Anthony Ludi, Marshall Harris, Michael York, Alan Holtzman, Christopher Roth, and Kent Mueller rounding out the field here today in Dover. We can't thank you guys enough for tuning in here live on Sim Racing Media. We do our best, but you guys are amazing. You guys are why we continue to do what we do, and we've got some amazing racing action coming up next week. Just keep an eye on the good old YouTube page. And well, yeah, that about does it for us here. And just your friendly reminder as you walk through the streets of life, please don't play in traffic. Thanks, folks.